미안해가.
야!
Good evening. Welcome to the U.S. Asia Institute's annual Lunar New Year celebration, where we celebrate together and launch the Year of the Ox. We are thrilled to have you with us this evening. To begin our celebration, please welcome the U.S. Asia Institute Chairman, Mr. Glenn Lau-Key.
Thank you to the Taiko Drum Dojo out of Brooklyn, New York, for the dynamic welcoming performance. And thanks to each of you for joining us virtually for the U.S. Asia Institute's annual Lunar New Year celebration. Distinguished members of Congress, Your Excellencies, Deputy Assistant Secretary Atul Keshup, honored guests, we celebrate tonight the Year of the Ox. The ox is the second sign of the lunar zodiac. It is a symbol of diligence, persistence, honesty, and endurance. The main character used in the Year of the Ox is said to mean twist or turn. It also expresses the condition of a sprout germinating inside a seed about ready to burst through. Consequently, 2021 promises to be a year of working towards new growth. It is said that the Year of the Ox will be one of stability and diligent hard work toward new hope. The U.S. Asia Institute is working towards new growth as well. 2021 marks our 42nd year of connecting, engaging, and building understanding between the people and governments of the US and Asia. We look forward to working closely with all of you to accomplish this core mission. 2020 changed life as we knew it, but our mission is more important than ever. People-to-people engagement and interactive programming, even virtually, At events such as this will continue to be the mainstay of the U.S.-Asia Institute's work to promote open and candid dialogue and understanding. 2021 is a year of opportunity, and with that in mind, the U.S.-Asia Institute remains committed to continuing critical, candid conversations and firsthand experience through virtual and eventually in-person delegations with and to Asia for congressional members and staff and state and local leadership. Increasing educational programming and people-to-people dialogue for congressional staff, expanding webinars and briefings on topics of key interest and concern, bringing parties from around the globe together for discussion and interaction, growing our robust internship and professional development programs to impact and prepare even more young people for their role in the future of the U.S.-Asia-Pacific relationship. Launching regional symposiums across the U.S. to increase understanding and rebuild trust. Expanding the outreach of our Asia News Brief and our podcast series after it's called Asia Unscripted, and much, much more. All of this would not be possible without the support of our corporate friends. A special thank you to our corporate stakeholders, Las Vegas Sands, Merck, AIG, Airbnb, ConocoPhillips, Walmart, and FedEx. We truly appreciate your continued belief in and support of the U.S.-Asia Institute. We enter 2021 with the lingering challenge of a global health crisis, but together, we will meet that challenge. Our thoughts and support go out to all. Today, the role of the U.S.-Asia Institute and all of you engaged in the U.S.-Asia-Pacific relationship is more important than ever. The U.S.-Asia Institute is at the forefront of connecting, engaging, and creating understanding between the people and governments of the United States and Asia at the highest levels. And we invite you to continue to join us in this important endeavor. And now, a brief look at the work of the U.S.-Asia Institute in 2020. Thank you.
2020, a year unparalleled in more than a century, a year of uncertainty, life-altering transformation, and innovative reformation. For an organization that was outward-facing, focused on education and people-to-people engagement in Washington, D.C. and across Asia, 2020 was a challenge and an opportunity. But the underlying mission of the U.S.-Asia Institute became more important than ever: to build understanding, to strengthen ties, and to keep the lines of communication open between the people and governments of the U.S. and Asia. Just 12 short months ago, USAI welcomed the Year of the Rat at a celebration of Lunar New Year overlooking the U.S. Capitol. More than 300 friends from the diplomatic, executive, congressional, academic, and corporate communities joined in the festivities. Tonight, we are honored to have all of you here with us to bring in the Year of the Ox. Though it may be a virtual celebration, it is just as meaningful, and we invite you to take a short journey through 2020 from the U.S.-Asia Institute's perspective. Like most of the world, USAI's work transitioned to a fully remote setting amid the global pandemic. And thanks to our young tech-savvy staff, our work has continued with remote internships, professional development programs, webinars highlighting key topics of the day, educational programs for select audiences, fascinating podcasts, and virtual people-to-people engagement to ensure the continuation of dialogue between the U.S. Congress and officials abroad. And our work expanded with new initiatives. Decision 2020 brought U.S. politics to the diplomatic community, increasing their understanding of the complex U.S. election process through in-person site visits and a post-primary watch party on Super Tuesday before the shutdown of the country in March. And virtual engagement throughout 2020 providing insights into the U.S. presidential, congressional, and local races. Candid conversations. To keep the lines of communication open, USAI developed a series of virtual delegations to China, arranging meetings with the American Embassy in Beijing, Chinese ministries and scholars, and American businesses for members of Congress, as well as more than 100 congressional staff. This initiative expands in 2021 with other countries of Asia, as well as to officials at the state and local level. Our annual congressional briefing series, China 101, Japan 101, Korea 101, and ASEAN 101, reached more than 700 congressional staffers. Each series, for the first time, were able to include speakers from across the U.S. and overseas, providing greater insight and depth to the conversations, and were offered to district and state congressional staff. Topics range from historical underpinnings, trade, security, energy and the environment, human rights, and more. Impact, a newly created professional development program for young Filipino Americans, was launched in 2020 with the Philippine Embassy. This was an unprecedented opportunity to provide a Washington, D.C. experience for these young people, showing them firsthand the government and political processes, while empowering them to become more civically engaged and political leaders in the 21st century. Both of USAI's award-winning rule of law programs transitioned online. Participating American law students visited Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Shanghai, and Beijing to engage virtually with Chinese officials, scholars, students, lawyers, and others. Meanwhile, Chinese students had engaging and productive discussions with members of Congress, administration officials, judges, legal scholars, businessmen, and others. An inaugural virtual moot court debate among the students enriched the experience. A virtual town hall reconnected alumni of USAI's sought-after internship program, with breakout sessions led by alums providing career advice and tips for younger alums on opportunities in the business, arts and culture, and diplomatic sectors. A special session on diversity and inclusion was led by USAI's former chairman and former intern who co-founded this initiative. USAI organized and hosted a variety of virtual briefings, panels, and events, which included global perspectives focused on key topics impacting the U.S. and countries of the Asia-Pacific, individually and collectively, including, to name a few, a scientific look at COVID-19, lessons learned from Asian countries for combating the virus, and the impact of the pandemic on Asia's economic outlook, 25 years of Vietnamese-U.S. normalization, future of Hong Kong autonomy, and Korea-Japan trade disputes. A new initiative, Southeast Asia in Focus, examined the future of U.S. leadership in the region, the implications of the 2020 U.S. presidential election on the region, and energy sectors in Southeast Asia with a particular look at Indonesia. These focus briefings continue in 2021 with briefings every 6 to 8 weeks. The pandemic has had a silver lining as well. It has allowed us to go beyond Washington, D.C. to reach a broader and more diverse audience across the United States, throughout Asia, and around the globe. Though the pandemic will hopefully soon be behind us, our virtual programming will continue, bringing us closer to all who we've interacted with throughout this past year. We are fortunate to have had the support of corporate sponsors, including Las Vegas Sands, Merck, AIG, Airbnb, ConocoPhillips, Fairfield Maxwell, and most recently, Walmart. USAI looks forward to continuing to engage with each of you as we continue our mission of more than 42 years, facilitating communication and building understanding between the U.S. and countries of the Indo-Pacific. Your participation with us is the foundation of our success. Thank you, and our best to each of you for a happy, healthy, and prosperous Year of the Ox.
There is no question that 2020 was a challenging year. Together, our countries and peoples stand strong together to usher in a brighter 2021. Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, a woman of Asian American heritage, issued this greeting on the 12th of this month, the start of the Year of the Ox.
Happy Lunar New Year. You know, in San Francisco, where I lived and worked for years, on this night, the city ignites. Paper lanterns light the streets. Families get together. Parents let children stay up late. Everyone comes out to watch the parade with its marching bands and lion troops. It is a true celebration of Asian American culture and community. In fact, one of my favorite memories is attending the parade with my mother. She looked radiant always, and I remember her in particular with her red scarf and just having so much fun, surrounded by the warmth and love of the community. And of course, this year's festivities, they're gonna look a little different. And for some, any sense of joy will be mixed with grief and fear. Our country has lost far too many lives to COVID-19. Our community has experienced far too much racism and hate, and our neighbors have lost their jobs and risked their health on the front lines. But we still must have hope as we welcome in the Year of the Ox. For the ox symbolizes strength and determination, persistence and resilience. So as we bring in this year, I am wishing all of you happiness, health, and prosperity. Happy Lunar New Year.
Joining us from the U.S. Department of State, we are honored to welcome Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs, Ambassador Atul Keshup.
My name is Atul Keshup. I'm the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for the Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs. On behalf of the Department of State, I wish all of you a very happy Lunar New Year. I'm sorry I can't join you today personally to celebrate this wonderful event. I want to extend my deepest thanks to the U.S.-Asia Institute for all you do to build mutual understanding, and to all the distinguished guests here tonight for your contributions as well. The Indo-Pacific is perhaps the most vital and dynamic region of the world, and the United States is committed, as I know you all are as well, to extending our partnerships and deepening our cooperation across the ocean. Together, we are addressing challenges like the pandemic and climate change and ensuring a healthier, safer, freer, and more prosperous Asia-Pacific and the world. Have a wonderful year of the Ox, and I hope to see you at next year's Lunar New Year celebration in person. Thank you.
Thank you to the Department of State for providing special greetings from the administration. Now, we are pleased to welcome some of our congressional friends. First, we are honored to introduce Congresswoman Judy Chu, Chair of the Congressional Asia-Pacific Caucus.
Hello, and happy Lunar New Year, everybody. I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, and as the chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, or what we call CAPAC, I'm so happy to be with the U.S.-Asia Institute and all of you today to help welcome the Year of the Ox. I have attended this event for years, and that is why I'm particularly grateful that despite the social distance requirements this year, you found a way for us to still join and celebrate together virtually. And I'm thrilled to be here along with other members of Congress, ambassadors, diplomats, business leaders, advocates, academics, and more from across the US and Asia. That reach is exactly why I'm always so happy to work with you. You are unparalleled in your ability to bring together so many thought leaders and decision makers. And that is why in 2011, when CAPAC planned our first ever congressional delegation to the People's Republic of China, I knew that there would be no better partner than the U.S.-Asia Institute. Thanks to your deep ties in China and throughout Asia, our first CODEL was a huge success and helped promote a greater understanding of both sides. That focus on mutual understanding and cooperation is still incredibly important today. In fact, after 4 years of increasingly hostile Cold War rhetoric, threats to abandon allies in Asia, your work is more important than ever. Through your regular congressional briefings, you help ensure our foreign policy towards Asia is based on the best information and analysis, not fear and bigotry. And I'm proud to be working with you on this. US-Asia relations are too important for our country and our future. While our differences may be significant, I believe we have to engage with each other in constructive ways. And that is why this summer, I sent messaging guidance to over many of our members of Congress to help them to avoid harmful Cold War rhetoric towards the US and China. That's why I'm committed to strengthening and not abandoning the partnership with our allies, such as Japan and Korea. Now, as we begin a new administration, our differences with Asia may remain, but I'm confident that with you and with your support, we can ensure strong channels of dialogue to maintain the understanding and communication that is necessary to help both sides thrive. So thank you again for all your hard work and happy Year of the Ox.
Thank you, Congresswoman Chu, for that message and for your continued support. Also joining us this evening is Congressman Rick Larsen, co-chair of the U.S.-China Working Group and chair of the APEC caucus. Thank you for being here this evening, Congressman Larsen.
Good evening. I'm U.S. Representative Rick Larsen from Washington State's 2nd Congressional District, and it's my pleasure to wish you a happy Lunar New Year and a happy Year of the Ox. The ox symbolizes strength, diligence, and patience, traits Congress and this administration must bring to building stronger ties with the Asia-Pacific region. And as co-chair of the U.S.-China Working Group, I understand the value of that engagement and working with partners in the region to promote U.S. interests. So I look forward to joining you in person next year at next year's celebration, and Happy New Year.
We are also delighted to share a message from Congressman Ami Bera, Chair of the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Asia, the Pacific, Central Asia, and Nonproliferation.
Hi, I'm Congressman Ami Bera from California's 7th Congressional District and Chairman on the Subcommittee for Asia, the Pacific, Central Asia, and Nonproliferation. And it is my great honor to address the U.S.-Asia Institute on this Lunar New Year celebration. This year is the Year of the Ox, and as we face the unprecedented challenge of this global pandemic that COVID-19 has brought, it does require the attributes of the ox of hard work, of humility, of working together for all of us across this world to defeat the virus, but to build a better future for the 21st century. I'm optimistic. I look forward to working with the U.S.-Asia Institute, not just as we defeat this virus, but also as we build a better and brighter future for the Indo-Pacific and the U.S.-Asia relationship. Be safe, be kind, everyone, and happy Lunar New Year.
Traditionally celebrated around the world, Lunar New Year ushers in the new year based on the lunar calendar. This calendar is widely used in China, Korea, Vietnam, Japan, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Mongolia, and Singapore, among others. Called Tet in Vietnam, the Vietnamese embassy has provided us with a special video depicting their celebratory tradition. At the heart of its mission, the U.S.-Asia Institute engages with 14 countries of East and Southeast Asia: Brunei, Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Laos, Malaysia, Mongolia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. We are honored to be able to share greetings from the diplomatic community of those countries.
Happy Lunar New Year. On behalf of the Singapore Embassy in Washington, D.C., I would like to congratulate the U.S.-Asia Institute for putting together this virtual event. We value the important work that you do as a champion for the United States engagement with Asia. The past year has been a challenging time for all of us. We've had to adjust and respond to the impact of the pandemic. At the same time, it served as a reminder to all of us of the importance of working together to tackle our common challenges, particularly of health and the climate. As we look towards the new year, I'm hopeful that there will be some light at the end of the tunnel with vaccines as they become more widely available. But we will have to maintain some of our sensible health practices for some time. In Singapore, we are working hard to maintain our status as a trusted, reliable, and well-connected hub. We will be hosting the Shangri-La Dialogue in June, and a special meeting of the World Economic Forum in August. We welcome our friends from the United States, including members of Congress, to join us in Singapore for some of these discussions. We also look forward to strengthening our bilateral relationship with the new administration and the new Congress, and in areas of shared interest such as COVID-19 and vaccine development, the digital economy, climate change, and cybersecurity. In particular, we value the strong support for Singapore from members of the Singapore Caucus and other friends on Capitol Hill. As we welcome the Year of the Ox, there is much to be optimistic about. I wish you and your families good health and happiness. Thank you.
It is a great honor for me to read a letter of congratulations from Ambassador Cui Tiankai, Chinese ambassador to the United States. Dear friends, it's such a great pleasure to join you at the US Asia Institute's 2021 Lunar New Year virtual celebration. Though I cannot make myself available tonight, I share your joy and celebration. First of all, I'd like to extend my best wishes to all of you for a happy Year of the Ox. In the Chinese culture, ox symbolizes stamina, energy, and dedication. Standing at the beginning of a new year, I hope that we will show the spirit of the ox and work together to defeat COVID-19, facilitate economic recovery and growth, and build a better shared future for the Chinese and American people and the people of the whole world. This requires a sound and stable China-US relationship that serves the common interests of the two peoples and the entire international community. Tomorrow is China's Lantern Festival, a day that marks the end of the Chinese New Year holiday season. I'm delighted to know that tonight the Institute will share a video on Chinese New Year, including the legend of the beast Nian, a story about how people drove it away and celebrated the Spring Festival, which is very relevant as we are working together to defeat the coronavirus and other difficulties. In this context, I'd like to commend the US Asia Institute for your long-term commitment and dedication to promoting dialogue and mutual understanding between the US and Asian countries, including China. Your continued effort is even more important than ever to restore friendship and cooperation. I wish the Institute great success in the year and beyond. Friends, let's work together for a prosperous Year of the Ox. Sincerely yours, Cui Tiankai, Ambassador. And last but not least, I would like also to extend my personal greetings to all of you for a very successful and prosperous Year of the Ox.
Good evening. I am Sherbini Ali, Ambassador of Brunei Darussalam to the United States. My colleagues at the embassy and I are very happy to share with you this joyous occasion celebrating New Year this year. The COVID-19, as we all know, presents us with many challenges. One of them is not able to see each other in person. However, technology has provided means for us to virtually meet and in this occasion celebrate the New Year celebrations. US Asia Institute has been instrumental in promoting greater understanding of Asia to the US, especially the Congress. You have been pivotal in putting Asia into the mainframe of the US foreign policy. Congratulations on that. I sincerely congratulate you and commend you on that excellent effort. Brunei Embassy, thank you for reaching out to us, becoming our friends, and most of all, lending your hands when we need help. We are very happy to work together and we shall work together in the future. Once again, We wish you a very happy and prosperous 2021.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and friends. Happy Lunar New Year to you. May I join my Asian colleagues in congratulating you for organizing this special event. Our special thanks go to Ms. Marisu Bissell and her team for hosting this event like what you have done in the past years. We also would like to express our high appreciation for the good work of the US Asia Institute for bringing the peoples of Asia and the United States closer to one another and promoting understanding between our two peoples. We are confident that your good work will continue in the years ahead. This year is the year of the ox. May this year of the ox bring happiness, prosperity, and success, and overcome the challenges that we face with the COVID-19. We strongly believe that the year of the ox will bring us further success throughout the year. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Hoàng Thị Thanh Nga, DCM Vietnam Embassy. In Vietnam, the Lunar New Year is the most important event of the year when every member of the family reunite. As you can see in our clip, every Vietnamese will always remember a crowded New Year market with rosy pink peach flowers, yellow daisies, yellow apricot blossom, and chin cake. In Vietnam, we call this year the year of buffalo. A buffalo represents strength, diligence, perseverance, and resilience to overcome all obstacles and difficulties. I strongly believe that the year buffalo will bring about a lot of blessings, good health, and happiness to all of us. We look forward to working with the US Asia Institute and all of you to strengthen cooperation for peace and prosperity in Indo-Asia Pacific region. I wish you a new year full of happiness, health, and success. Happy New Year and chúc mừng năm mới in Vietnamese. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to take part in this virtual celebration, and thank you for the US Asia Institute for organizing this virtual event. There will be much more joyful if we can celebrate this cheerful occasion in person, of course. I also would like to join other colleagues to congratulate the US Asia Institute for the hard work it had done in the past years, contributed to broaden mutual understanding and strengthening ties between people and government of the United States and Asia, and contribute to advance cooperation and good relation, even to further promote mutual understanding, economic prosperity, peace and stability, sustainable development in our region. And the Laos Embassy stand ready to extend good cooperation and support the work of the ASEAN Asia Institute to achieve further its objectives. I would like to echo the best wishes of good health, peace, and good fortune for this Lunar New Year. I hope that the year of ox will bring great success and opportunity for us all. Thank you and have a good evening.
Warm greetings, Honorable Congressmen, Excellencies, executives and staff of the U.S. Asian Institute. Allow me to join all of you in expressing our best wishes to the community of patrons, members, and alumni of the U.S. Asian Institute as you celebrate the 2020 Lunar New Year, which this year is represented by the ox. The ox symbolizes many wonderful qualities such as honesty, reliability, and perseverance. Indeed, these are very much qualities which stand out in the Institute. The Institute has persevered and worked diligently to create better understanding about the United States, ties with, aspirations for, and contribution to the development of the close neighbor, Asia. I wish to applaud the Institute for persevering in this noble effort for over 40 years. In particular, you have sensitized the American youths, notably youths of the Asian descent, about the different issues and aspects of U.S. relations with Asia. I am proud that the Thai Embassy has helped to channel a number of Thai American youths to experience work at the Capitol Hill through the Institute's internship program over the past 6 years, and we are fully confident that these youths will be inspired to serve others. I would like to take this opportunity once again to wish you good health, happiness, and prosperity, and hope that you will continue to persevere as the years come. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our embassy friends for being part of our celebration tonight. We are now pleased to share with you a little about how China celebrates the New Year with this clip from the Chinese embassy.
Mommy, where did the legend of the Nian come from?
A long time ago, a strange beast called Nian came out on Lunar New Year's Eve to devour livestock and humans in a village in China. This year, the villagers sought refuge in the mountains to hide from the Nian. Right then, an old man with winter white hair and beard arrived from outside the village. An old lady advised the old man to leave, but he simply smiled and replied that he could drive the Nian away. Seeing how unperturbed the old man was, the lady decided to stay on with the other villagers. At the stroke of midnight, the Nian charged into the village, only to discover that every dwelling in the village was brightly lit, with their doors plastered with bright red papers. The Nian was surprised, but tried to move forward gingerly. As it approached the door, the sudden din of fireworks scared it so much that it froze in its tracks and fled in panic. The villagers were so elated that they put on their new clothes and hats, congratulating each other on their victory in chasing away the Nian. The news soon got around, and warding off the Nian by firecrackers became common knowledge. And that is how the legend of the Nian spread far and wide.
The Spring Festival is coming soon. Let's make dumplings and set off firecrackers.
Regardless of how far they are from home, every wandering traveler hopes to return home for the Spring Festival. Reunion is the deepest longing of every people. Every step on the journey home is a step towards joy. Regardless of the trends of the times, home is the happy place in the people's minds. To return home is an everlasting yearning. The Spring Festival is a special time of reunion, harmony, renewal, and praying. Let's share our joy, convey blessings, and join the world in awaiting the blossoms of spring.
Don't forget that our celebration will continue in just a few moments in our virtual breakout rooms. After our closing remarks, click on the link in the chat and join us. And now, please welcome Vice Chairman of the U.S. Asia Institute, Javed Chaudhry.
You know, that wonderful video reminds us of all the things we are missing this year. This, in our 42nd year of existence, is the first time that we haven't all been together celebrating Lunar New Year. And I think that's where home is. Home is where the heart is. And for all of us, all these decades, we have done that. And coming together has been very special. We hope this will be the last year that we will do this virtually, as much fun as it is. We have to take our hats off to the wonderful staff of the U.S. Asia Institute, led by Mary Sue Bissell, our staff of Zev Moses, Alec Bowman, and Pemi Adeyemi have done amazing things this year. Helped along, as you heard from various ambassadors, by our wonderful group of interns who are really the wellspring of a lot of the great work that we do. Pemi, for example, has done wonderful things this year with our social media programs. Unfortunately, we're going to lose her this year, so we wish her happy trails and a fond farewell. I want to thank in particular Kathy Lenardi, who helped organize this seamless technological wonder of a virtual celebration, and of course our MC, Caitlin Lenardi. You know, the work of the Institute wouldn't happen without all of you. We have always honored and rejoiced in the great interaction and support we get from our congressional colleagues, both the members as well as the staff. And of course, all of the ambassadors and the embassies are our family. They are always welcoming of us. They give us advice. They open their embassies to them. They come join us. That's really what makes the board of directors, the advisor group, the global leadership board, and the congressional circle come together to make all this work. Of course, we couldn't do it without our corporate sponsors. You've heard their names: FedEx, Walmart, ConocoPhillips, Airbnb, AIG, Merck, and not least, Las Vegas Sands. We hope that all of you who are only doing this virtually this year will join us when we begin to convene together in person. And of course, that's the fervent hope in this new year. I think as much as we have done this year, and it is really amazing, there is so much more to be done. We all know that. I think that in some ways, some of the virtual things we have done, we will be able to do, continue to do. Really, we've gotten new ideas. And one of them is, of course, the fact that we can have events like this where time zones permitting, we can come together globally, not just in Washington, D.C. So some fun new programs will come out of this. The other part of this is that we're really expanding to other parts of Asia, because after all, we are the U.S. Asia. Above all, as I think Glenn said at the beginning of this program, we are a place where we hope people come together, create communities, we create a platform for discussion, understanding, and cooperation. And a lot of the negative values that unfortunately are part of everyday political and other dialogue is something that is missing in what we do. We hope that we can be that honest broker that provides a platform for people to have meaningful discussions and solve the world's problems collectively. I think one thing this year has proven to us, it is that we're all on this planet together, and unless we solve the planetary problems together, they won't get solved. And of course, the other big one is climate change, an even bigger problem. So we, in our very, very small way, hope that we can be part of that solution. So thank you again. If we were all together, I would ask you to raise your glasses and give a toast to the year of the ox. You know, I love the fact that it's buffalo in Vietnam. That seems even stronger and tougher. But whatever you call it, year of great opportunity and great hope. And so with that, on behalf of all of the stakeholders of the U.S.-Asia Institute, I bid you farewell. As Caitlin reminded you, we have a sort of a session after this where people can come together and talk to each other. I recognize that we're close to 100 people, but maybe you can find your little group and fire away over Zoom. With that, thank you all for coming, and we hope to see you in person next year.
Thank you again for joining the U.S.-Asia Institute's annual Lunar New Year celebration. Happy Year of the Ox. And we will see you in the virtual celebration rooms.